Hey, can people see me? Tell me if you can see me. Send me a message. I don't know how to tell people to use this link. Hang on.
Did you post it where you posted the other one?
I will try that now. Okay. Tell me if you can see me, people, in the chat. Edit. Here. Live now. New link for Challah making. Can you see me? Anyone? Anyone? Try this link. Apologies for the technical difficulties, but it's not so intuitive, unfortunately, or user-friendly. Tell me if you're there. Here. Let's share this. Copy. Try this. Okay, here. Try this link. Okay. How about that? Does that work? Let me know if you're on. Let me know if you're able to stream. Okay. I'm here. Yay! Romy can see me. That's awesome. I'm hoping other people can join. I'm sorry I messed it up so badly, people, but I'm learning. So, well, I'm going to teach you how to make challah. Maybe someone can teach me how to use this. Okay, let me post it in on our events page once more, just so if people can go back. I'll see if I can message people. Use this link. Romy, bear with me. We'll start in a minute. I just want to make sure a few more people can join. That's a terrible picture. That's hilarious. Yay! Well, we've got Romy in Florida. Hooray! Well, I'm in California, and it's not even light out. Okay, 2 people are on.
Wait.
3?
Oh, doing.
No, that's me. Okay, who else? Okay, awesome. Judy's on. Toronto. Send new link. Check Facebook. Invite. Okay, I don't know. This whole YouTube live might not be the way to go. Okay, Raheel in England. Look, it's literally a global challah making session. Okay, Levi, you're in the camera. Please. Oh, my brother to the rescue. Alex is helping. Jacob, hi. Everybody's joining. Okay. I just want to give people a few minutes to get the new link. So while they are, just make sure you have all of your ingredients. So you definitely need flour. And does everybody here, I'll just run through it. So you need to have oil. You can use canola oil or olive oil. It's up to you. And water. And then you need yeast. So I use Fleischmann's active dry yeast. See? A lot of them come in packets, like pre-measured envelopes. So if you have one of those, have that. That's perfect. Okay, you need salt. I have salt. I usually have a big jar of kosher salt. You need a little bit of sugar, not a lot. Like if you just have small bowls of salt and sugar, that's fine. You're gonna need 2 eggs. I have 2 eggs. And then obviously, I already said you need to have your flour. Have some kind of seasoning that you want to put on your challah afterwards. And then you need a scrupulously clean tea towel, because this is what you're going to need dough on. So make sure you grab one of these and leave it out in front of you on your work surface, on your counter, wherever you are. And then get a cookie sheet. I already practiced one this morning, but get a cookie sheet with parchment paper, or if you have one of those Silpats, those silicone baking sheets, like that. And of course, you need all your measuring cups and measuring spoons. What else? I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. Anyway, okay, so let's start. So I use a big glass Pyrex measuring cup. And I pre-measured stuff already, but I'll give you guys time. And if you need me to slow down. Oh, hi, Karen. My nephew says hi. Hello. Just say the word in chat. Make sure you don't have any rings on, because you're going to get flour and dough all over your hands. So take them off now. Put them somewhere safe on your camera. And make sure your hands are super clean. Okay? Try and keep all the germs away, and that includes during challah making. Okay. So first, go to your sink and measure out 3/4 of a cup of water. I've pre-measured, so 3/4 of a cup of water, and have it in one of these or something like it. It doesn't have to be in a measuring cup like this. And just pour in 3/4 of a cup of water. Okay? So I'll give you a minute to go do that. Somebody text me when you've done that. Okay? And then when that's done, so I use a 1/4 cup measure, and I just do 3 of these, because I don't have a 3/4 cup measure. And I fill it with each with water and put it in. Okay? Romy's done that. Okay, then get your 3rd cup measure, pour your oil in here, and add it to the water. Okay? So I've pre-measured mine, 1/3 of a cup of oil. And you should have the recipe, because I put the link in the invite. So hopefully you have everything you need in front of you already. If you don't, that's okay. If I'm going too fast, metric. No, this is the recipes from my mom. Sorry, I don't have metric measurements. I'll have to learn to convert it to metric. Okay, and add the oil to the water. Now you have to heat it up, but not to boiling. So I just use the microwave. So I'm going to put it in the microwave for 1 minute. That usually gets it warm enough, but not to boiling. So do that. And while it's warming up, you want to get your tablespoon and teaspoon. Okay? Tablespoon, teaspoon, ready. And now you're going to get your sugar and your salt. Okay? So pull out your sugar and your salt. I keep them in like big huge jars like this because I bake all the time. Doo-doo-doo. Levi's here, you just can't see him. You can come and wave and say hi if you want. All right. 10 more seconds. This is not television where everything happens instantaneously. Okay. Make sure it's warm. I don't know, I'm going to give it another 15 seconds. It doesn't feel warm enough to me. You have to be the judge. I know that's not really fair to you guys, but reheal less than boiling. That's all I can say. I just do it so that it's like warm to the touch. I know that's not really fair, but it is. It's just I literally microwave it for a minute or 80 seconds. Okay, and now you're gonna add 2 tablespoons plus 1 teaspoon of sugar. Okay, so I pre-measured just because. So this is 2 tablespoons, so 2 of these and 1 of these of sugar. Okay, add that to the oil and water. And then if you've got salt, you can use, I just use kosher salt because I don't keep iodized salt at home. So I'm using kosher salt, and it's 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. Okay, we dump that in. Okay. Now is the yeast part. So everybody, if you have an envelope, like the envelope, the pre-measured envelope, then use that. But I'm going to measure out from my jug. So this is where you need to be a little more precise because the yeast is activated by the warm water, the oil, and the sugar. Okay? So what you're going to do is sprinkle it's 1 envelope. So if you have an envelope, you don't have to measure. But if you have what I have, which is a jar, 1 envelope is equal to 2 1/4 teaspoons of the yeast. Okay, so you scoop out a level 1 and pour it all on top. You probably can't see what I'm doing. See? That was 1. Here's the other one. 2. Then you take an itty bitty 1/4 teaspoon. And you sprinkle that. Then take a spoon, like a wooden spoon or spatula, and just give it a gentle stir to sort of get the yeast touching the sugar, just gently. Okay, and now just set it aside. Okay, just leave it there. And then what should happen, if this is where it has to be warm enough but not too hot, is the heat of the water and the oil combined with the sugar, salt will activate the yeast. So it's going to start foaming up over the next 10 minutes. Okay, so you just let it sit like that. It'll separate a bit, but you'll start to see it'll look like fuzzy, kind of. I think my sister-in-law Alice described it as looking like sort of fuzzy worms, but it is alive, right? It's yeast. So just leave it there. All right. Put that away. If you have it in a jar, remember you always have to keep it in the fridge because it's alive. I'm going to put mine back in the fridge now. It's alive! Okay, hang on. And those, if you have your coffee, your tea, case I do. Stop and take a sip. Okay, now we have to measure the flour. So grab a large mixing bowl. I've pre-measured, but I'm going to go through it with you to do the measurement so that kind of doing it together step by step. So get your 1 cup measure, okay? You just moving things really well, so they're not in the way. Get your flour. Doesn't matter if it's coming out of a jar or a bag or whatever. And I just use all-purpose flour and do a single scoop. Level it off. Okay, dump it in your bowl. That's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you're done with this, but keep your flour nearby because you're going to need a fair bit more to knead the dough. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this at the corner of my tea towel. I'm working on my tea towel too. This is easier. Okay, now you need to crack your eggs. So grab your eggs. Okay, I've got 2 eggs here. Okay, and then crack them into a smaller bowl. Okay, and get a fork. I beat the fork, beat the eggs with a small fork. Okay. 1, 2. I'm just gonna go rinse off my hands. Okay. Eggs are waiting for me. Okay. Okay. 2 eggs, fork, beat the eggs. 2 eggs. It's like you're about to make scrambled eggs. Okay. Let me just make sure everybody's here. Okay, beat your 2 eggs. Take a peek over your yeast, see what it's doing, if anything. It should look like it's kind of getting foamy. I wish mine would foam up a little bit more. No, it's not foamy. Not as foamy as everybody's. Okay, so you've beaten your eggs. Pour it over top of your flour. Okay? Rubber spatula. How many of you have one? Yes? You got a rubber spatula? Okay, good. Great. Now is when you go back and check your mixture. I feel like mine is still, like if it were me, I'd wait a little bit longer because it doesn't look like it's activated enough. How does everybody else's look? How's everybody's yeast mixture doing? Is it foamy? I'm coming over there to check your comments. What's everybody saying? What's everybody saying? Okay. My mixture. Yeah, except it doesn't look as good as it normally does. Close up. Mine's not as foamy as it should be. Normally it should be really foamy, foamy to the surface. I don't know if this is really doing it, but you can start to see that it's activating and it gets kind of foamy and sits on top. I don't know if that's helping you at all. Does it look fuzzy? It should rise. You should start to see the yeasts rising and kind of foaming. All right. That should be enough time though. By the time you measure out your flour and beat your eggs, it should be okay. Don't worry, we're gonna it's gonna get activated through. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the oil will sit on top. It's lighter. That's okay. All right, we're gonna add it. We're gonna keep moving ahead. Okay, let me tip down my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so take your yeast mixture and pour it over top of the eggs and the flour. Okay? I don't think mine work. But I have a backup. Okay. Then you're going to take, so everything's in your bowl now. You've got your flour, your eggs, and your yeast mixture, and with your spatula, just combine it all. Okay, so you're just going to fold it around. Okay? I think this mixture might become cinnamon rolls. You can turn these into cinnamon buns. I use the same dough recipe for making cinnamon buns, which we could do another day, or I could just send you the recipe so that you can take this recipe of dough and just turn it into buns another time. Okay, so I'm just combining them. You don't have to do it aggressively. Sort of fold it or turn your bowl to combine. I've made a challah before where I use some Deb Perlman's website, Smitten Kitchen, where instead of sugar and canola oil, I use honey and olive oil. And it has a really nice sweetness to it. Okay. So try and pick up all the flour on the sides and bottom of the bowl. Use the dough to catch it. Now it's not going to be smooth. It's still going to be kind of a little bit wet and sticky and ragged. So this is what mine looks like. You want to see that? Okay. Now is where you're really going to get your hands dirty. So if you want to have a sip of your coffee or tea, now is the time to do it. Okay. Get your jar or bag of flour ready. One trick that I have is that if you really don't want the flour to stick to your hands, keep your hands floured. Okay. Now you're going to sprinkle the flour onto this tea towel surface and then turn the dough out onto the sprinkled flour. So I'm just going to take some in my hand. Okay. Sprinkle quite generously because it'll stick. And keep your flour handy. Okay. And now you're going to turn out the flour, or your dough rather, onto the floured surface. You're going to get all the little bits out of your dough. Okay? You're done with this. The only downside to baking is if you get all those dirty dishes. That's true when you're cooking or baking. Okay, take a little more flour and sprinkle it on top. your dough. Okay, and then call it powdering my hands. Powder my hands. And then start to just gently pull the dough together with the flour. And this is where we're going to start kneading it. So it's a big ball. And it's hard to explain. I use the tips of my fingers kind of gently just to start rolling it around and pushing it so that it's not too sticky. Yeah, it's a fairly wet dough. So you can be pretty generous with the flour that you add to it after you turn it onto your tea towel. Okay. So now we're going to practice kneading. We get 10 whole minutes to do that. So I'm going to do what my brother-in-law and sister do all the time. Hey, Google, set the timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Starting now. Okay, so here's what you're going to do. You take the heel of your hand, and your dough should be like in a ball, kind of like this. Okay? Take the heel of your hand, and starting at the back of the dough, roll it forward on your tea towel, and then you turn it and pull it back to the top of your tea towel. So roll it, push, and turn. Okay? Someone's trying to call me. Push, fold it over, turn. And if it starts getting super sticky, go back in for some more flour, flour your hands, a little bit on the dough, and keep going. Push, turn, push, turn. We're doing this for 10 minutes, so you have 10 minutes to practice this technique. Okay? The tea towel is moving. Sometimes what I do is I put the edge of it at the counter and press up against it. How's it going? Everybody having fun? Push. Push. Okay?
Eat 1 minute. Or 8.5.
It's nice, and I find it kind of
That's just like
a form of meditation. And sometimes I put my other hand on top of my bottom hand, and I use both of them to apply more pressure. So I did a little bit of research into part of it. Why do I have to knead it so much? It looks like a ball of dough. So this is where gluten comes into play. What you're trying to do is release the glutens, which are the protein chains in the flour, in the wheat. And what happens is that the active yeast helps it along, but there are natural yeasts that occur between when flour and water are mixed together. So what it does is it just releases the glutens, which is, the gluten is kind of like this invisible web that holds your flour together. And that's what creates all the little air pockets in your bread and make it fluffy. So that's why you need to knead it, because if you don't knead it, it's just going to be a hard, dense ball of flour and water. It won't be bread. So that's why we're kneading it. So it shouldn't be sticky at all anymore. It should be kind of like Play-Doh. And if it is sticky, that's where you go back into your flour and add it a little bit more, just a little bit at a time. You don't want too much flour because you don't want to dry it out. Okay? Oh, we have about 6.5 minutes left. So take your time and enjoy this. But it's a good little workout, and I find it therapeutic. I find it like a form of meditation. The dough doesn't talk back either. It's quite pliable.
Unlike your kids.
Yeah, the kid computer.
I know you're like a potato.
Yeah.
In this house.
How's it going? Everybody having a good good time?
Do it.
After this, we're gonna let it rest. You have to let it rest a bit. Yeah, because you gave it a workout. Okay, so do this. Okay, mine's getting a little sticky. I'm just gonna powder my hands. Not the dough, just my hands. If you ask me, what is the risk of under kneading it? Again, it's just that it'll end up being dense. It won't be nice and fluffy. Is there a risk to over kneading it? Yes, I believe that the glutens can collapse. And again, you end up with a dense bread. So yeah, there is sort of this happy medium. And the recommendation is 8 to 10 minutes. I always go for 10, just to be safe.
Stop.
No, it won't stop. It'll come back. I will when you come around and wave and say hi to everybody. Why, your cousins are on and
Really?
yeah.
You like them?
No, I think Alex and Alice are on, and maybe even Jackie.
Mm.
Okay.
Mama, what? That's heavy. Mama, that's heavy.
What difference?
It's heavier than me.
Yeah. All right. Sure. Google will tell me how much time is left. Hey Google, how much time is left on the timer? 3 minutes. 3.5 minutes. This is where it would be nice to actually have a conversation with you guys, but I don't have the Zoom thing set up for a whole giant group of people. Zoom seems to be the way to go. Did you know Zoom is headquartered right here in San Jose? I drive past that building all the time. Yeah, LinkedIn is here. Zoom is here. YouTube is up in San Bruno, which is about 45 minutes north of here. All these companies that we're relying on to stay connected with each other. They're just a short drive from my house. Netflix, too, not far from here, in a town called Los Gatos. I drive past that. What?
No, we went on a long bike ride.
Yeah, we biked right past Netflix,
No,
which is in Los Gatos.
Yeah.
We did. We just didn't see it from the path that we were on. That's right. We went for a long bike ride to Los Gatos from our house.
yeah, with some of our friends. With my brothers.
If you have flour on your tea towel, you can kind of use the dough to pick it up. That's what I do so it doesn't stick. All right, 2 minutes. 2 minutes, people.
No,
Put your back into it. You should really feel that dough get feeling nice and elastic, nice and pliable. I roll and I turn. I roll. It's like you're folding it in on itself, pushing it out. So fold it in, push. Fold it in, push. So what I'm missing telling you is turn. Fold it in, push. Fold it in, push. Fold it in, push. down.
Okay. 59 more seconds.
All right. We're down to the last minute of kneading. Have a really nice, pliable ball of dough. You've done it. Start thinking about how you want to shape it. That's the fun part where you can decide what you want to do.
That is the fun part because you don't have to leave it. You could also
You could just
make
leave
a
it
tower,
as a boule.
or you can make a tower out of it, like with the bottom flat with pointy top.
Not sure how sculptural you want to get.
Or a whale, like Quinny did over there.
That's Levi. They're all like, "Where is he? Come over here, just to wave." No, he's being camera shy. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay.
Hey Google, turn off timer.
All right. So we're done. That was 10 minutes. You should have this beautiful ball of dough. Okay. So now you're gonna just let it sit for 10 minutes. Done. I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna wash my hands and I'll come back. If you have any questions, I'll take questions or we can just chat for a few minutes. Okay, Google set timer for 10 minutes. Okay, wash your hands, everybody. Get the dough out from underneath your nails. You're gonna get them dirty again, but not quite as much.
Oh God, no. Oh my
What?
God. It's sorry.
If you think they saw you, I think it's okay if they saw you. This might be a good time to take a pee break or a coffee break. You're not going to need your flour anymore, so if you want to do some tidy up, I'm just going to put my berries back. So by resting it, you're allowing the glutens to activate and start to build those pockets that I was talking about. And this is like considered like the first rise. It's just a short one. So the next one is going to be long, and that's where we're going to break off. And I won't stay with you. I'll just talk you through what we'll do afterwards. Okay, so if you want, now is a good time to sort of tidy up your work surface, because the next thing you're going to do is braid your challah. If you guys have any ideas for anything else you might want to do, now would be a good time to go grab one more egg. Oh, actually, no, don't. You're going to do that in another hour or so. But make sure that you have on hand, or afterwards, I'm just telling you now because we have some time to kill. If you have a brush like this, this one's silicone, or even an actual brush, this is what you'll use to put your egg wash on your challah. So if you have something that you use even for the barbecue, like if you're putting barbecue sauce on, as long as it's clean, you can use that to brush the egg wash onto your challah. Not everybody has silicone brush. Okay, just take the time to tidy up a bit. Got 6-7 minutes left. So just let that challah sit there. Right. Right. How's it going out there, everybody? So Laura wants to know if I can do a rogalach one. Yes, I can certainly make rogalach with you. It's rogalach is a cream cheese and butter dough. So you have to make sure that you can get some cream cheese and butter to make the dough. But the trick of making it with you guys is that you have to let the dough chill. So what I could do is send you guys the recipe first, and you can try making some dough on your own and letting it chill. And then if we do this live, I can make the dough and a second batch with your dough, and then we'll pull out the chilled dough and roll it out and actually form them into the rogalach and bake them together with the filling on the inside. But we can totally do that. I would love to. I love making rogalach. It's a lot of work, but the payoff is worth it. Yeah, we can do part 1 and part 2. Making the dough, and then part 2 is actually rolling it out and forming the rogalach. For sure. Any other ideas? So Laura said rogalach. Anybody have any other ideas for things they want to learn how to make at all? Laura, any others? I actually have some laminated dough in my freezer. I think I'm going to take out and turn into Portuguese egg tarts. We're making laminated dough. It's a lot of work. Oh, there's one more milk in the garage. Babka. Yes, we could totally do babka. So some other ideas for you guys. So if you had wanted to put raisins into your dough, I think I would have suggested that you did it before we started kneading, because I think you should really incorporate them into your wet dough. So now obviously is not the time. Just grabbing a couple things to show you. They sell this at Trader Joe's here, but I think you can probably get them at other grocery stores, and I know they sell it at Costco here, but I'm not sure if they sell it at Costco here. This is called Everything But the Bagel Sesame Seasoning Blend. So it's exactly like everything bagel topping, and this is what I'm putting on my challah. You could also do something like this, which you can get at Lava's. It's President's Choice Cinnamon Sugar. If you want to make a sweet challah. You can even roll it right into the challah if you want. So, you have to let me know. Okay, how much time left? Hey Google, how much time left on the timer? Oh, it didn't say. Hey Google, how much time left on the timer? Okay, 2 minutes. 2 more minutes. Just a minute. Yeah, matzo ball soup, Laura. We could also do non-Jewish foods if there's something else that you want to bake. Not pork chops. Let me know if there's something else you want to bake. I love making pie crust. So if you want to make pie crust, that's another one where you have to let it chill. There's one pie crust recipe that I use that you can just make and bake. So we can do that one too. But it's really about the fillings. Okay. Just over a minute left. That's how your fellow dough looks. Nice ball. Resting. You gave it a workout there for 10 minutes, so it needs to rest. You guys making sure your hands are scrupulously clean, keeping them away from your face. Challah making is a great way to keep your hands away from your face. Okay, for the next step, just because we have less than a minute left, I'm going to use this thing, it's a scraper, to cut my dough into 3 pieces. Raheel, you'll appreciate this. If you want to be super, what's I going to say? Like make sure the measurements are exact, you can use a scale. I didn't bring out my kitchen scale for this, but you can eyeball it and measure the weight of the dough if you have a scale so that you have 3 even pieces. But if you don't, just take a knife, a sharp knife, and you'll be cutting it into 3 pieces. Okay? You have 10 seconds left. Hey Google, turn the timer off. All right, I'm doing one more hand washing just to be extra safe. So you guys don't see me, it's because I have my sink washing my hands. All right, I'm back. Okay, this is the fun part. So divide your dough into 3 pieces. That was not very easy. Okay, should be nice and sort of, see, how sticky it is. You might need a little bit of flour. Okay, because it is kind of sticky. Okay, and then what you're gonna do, so 3 pieces, relatively even. You're gonna start rolling them into like long strands. So I usually do it 2 ways. I do it, and just think you're using silly putty. I do it like this, off of my tea towel, just to start it. And I turn it around so that I can kind of roll it out evenly. And then I put it down on my tea towel, and I sort of just with the edges of my fingers, roll it out from the center as evenly as possible. And you're trying to get it pretty much to the length of almost to the length of your tea towel. Maybe a couple inches shy on either side. So if you think like a tea towel is like 18 inches maybe, I'm trying to get it at 16 inches. There's no like proper way of doing this. It's just sort of whatever works for you. Lemon bugs. All these fun things to make. I'll totally do that, will it? Okay, so it should sort of start to look like this. Hopefully you're seeing this okay. As soon as you finish one, and it's going to bounce back, it will. That it's just the nature of the dough. That's actually a good thing. But roll it out as best you can. Okay. Okay, and then set it aside, maybe at the top of your tea towel, and do that again with the next two pieces. Okay? I'm gonna have to refine the technical stuff for the next time I do this. I don't know if I'll get help from you too. I'll find out how. I can schedule it, and then you guys can join it. Because I went to click on the go live, and there was no go live button for my schedule webinar. It was panicking. So I just started a new one. Ugh. Okay. Maybe I'll do it on Zoom. Maybe we'll try it on Zoom and then I can see all of you. Okay. Keep rolling it out. Remember, you're trying to get it to the same length as the first piece. I'm on to my second. So I've made a challah. Thanks again to Deb Perlman on Smitten Kitchen, where you do 4 strands, but you actually roll it out with a rolling pin, each piece, and you slather it with like a fig jam, and then you roll it up into a log, and then you take the 4 logs and you arrange them and do an intricate braid. It's an olive oil, fig, and sea salt challah. It's delicious. All right, number 2, and then number 3. I'm on to number 3. And again, your challah, your dough should not really be all that sticky. All right. We're close. Almost there. I need someone to. What is the purpose of the tea towel? I'm not sure. I mean, I like doing it on a tea towel because it doesn't really stick. And I find the temperature of other surfaces that you're rolling on vary. So it can affect the temperature, it can affect the dough. I just find it easier to roll on the tea towel. Some of you might find it annoying, it might be slipping. I have my technique so that I hold my stomach up against the edge of the table so that it really can't pull. So as long as you have a nice clean, and it's clean, right? As long as you're using a super clean tea towel, like one that you just had straight out of the wash, then you don't have to worry about your surface, your work surface being scrupulously clean, and then you don't have to worry about anything getting into dough. Okay, so now we're gonna braid. This is like, I just do it, I don't do anything crazy. So lay out the 3 pieces. One mine's a little longer. Okay, all beside each other. Put your one on the far left, on the bottom. Put your middle one on top, and then the one on the right, and push. I'm trying to make sure you can see what I'm doing. Maybe you don't need to see me. You just need to see the braid. Okay? And then you're going to start on the left, and you're going to just braid it like you would braid hair. That, and then like that. Just keep braiding. Take the bottom one, keep going over. Okay, and when you get to the end, press them together and fold it underneath. Okay, et voila. Look what you guys did. Look what we did together. Here's your braid. Okay, so you're pretty much done. What you're gonna do is get your tray. Put the laptop back so you can see from up above. Okay, so take your braid. You have your lined baking sheet. Put your braid on the baking sheet to rise. So this is the second rise. So some people, if you want, you can also take your braid and you can turn it in on itself like this. See, and then you get a nice circular color. You have to tuck it on. I'll just leave it on. Okay, then take your tea towel, which should not be covered in much flour anymore, and cover your challah, okay? And then you're gonna set it aside. So I'm gonna end things here. What you're gonna do now is let it rise for 1 hour, sometimes more. This recipe says you can allow it to rise for 3/4 of an hour to an hour, but it should be double in size. So you really wanna see it puff up a lot over the next hour. And if it hasn't, leave it a little bit longer. Leave it in a sort of warm place. You can leave it sort of at the back of your stove, but in the kitchen somewhere, sort of warm, and just leave it there. Then what you'll do is you'll come back in an hour and you're going to preheat your oven to 375. And while it's preheating, you're gonna make your egg wash, right? So you're gonna scramble your egg, take your brush, brush your challah liberally with the egg wash, then take your seasoning, sprinkle it all over, and pop it in the oven. And it'll go in there for like, I wanna say half an hour. You'd have to watch it. Sometimes putting it on a baking stone is better if you have one. If you're worried about the bottom of the challah baking too quickly, you can double up your pans, put a second pan underneath. If you're worried that it's getting too brown, you can tent it with tin foil over the pan. And if you have a kitchen thermometer, so I have one like this, a digital thermometer, you can stick it into the center of the challah and it should read 190 degrees and then you know that it's done. Okay, but you'll know it's done. I think it'll be fine. 375, about half an hour, give or take, because every oven's different. You never know. And then we're gonna have challah for dinner tonight. So thank you all for joining me. If you have messages, send me a message on Facebook or email me at doringreenwood@gmail.com and we can do this again soon. So thank you all. I'm going to say bye. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Thank you. Thank you all. Bye.